Hey everyone, Miacidae here, welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. So today on the No Hope Estate, we're going to be going into the Darkest Dungeon. We are essentially done. All we need to do is the Darkest Dungeon 4. There's only one mini-boss I haven't really fought, and two wandering bosses if you really want to count it that way. And two bosses that I'm not sure I'm ever going to find. Those two being the other two bosses from the Night Parade. There are three bosses for the Night Parade, one of which I have beaten, the Daitengu of the Earth. There's also the Daitengu of the Heavens and Daitengu of the Winds. However, when you go in there, it is a random chance, and you saw how it took me about an hour and a half, 2 hours to beat that on the No Hope Estate, and it was pretty sketchy, so I'm considering it done with just one. We have the followers of the Raiju we could go try to find, but I've actually never found them in the Sunward Isles. The one other wandering boss I'm missing is the Sunken Crew, or the Sunken Captain rather, from the Cove, which you can only find, which I kind of went over in the last episode, but I'll go over it one last time here. If you have someone with the Ghostly Chained Quirk, which causes a 10% spawn chance if you have this quirk and you go into the Cove and you find a hallway battle. Problem is, this quirk can only be gotten by a unique item from the Drowned Anchorman, and then you have to use it on someone in that dungeon. I've had abysmal luck to the point where, I should have found him a few times by now. I've done 3 long dungeons. I think the average would be 3 to 5 long dungeons to find him, and 7 medium dungeons. So I should have found him 2 or 3 times by now on the average find percentile, and he's just not popping up. So I figured it would be probably stopped being fun watching me trying to find him, and it definitely got stopped being fun for me trying to find him. I'm not sure how I'm editing those yet, but that was the thing. So realistically, the only thing left is to go into the Darkest Dungeon and finish up this challenge. So I've had a lot of fun with this. I hope everyone has had a lot of fun watching this. It has definitely put Darkest Dungeon in a new light, how you can play it for me, and has given me some thought on going forward how I might want to do future estates and some risk analysis, things like that. So I've gotten a lot out of this estate, more than people might think, and I've also learned how to code a little bit for the game just because I had to bring hero skills in line. Both some modded and the vanilla heroes like Battlefield Medicine no longer heals. There's things like that that you might have noticed up until now. So today, Darkest Dungeon 1, probably Darkest Dungeon 2, I'm hoping for Darkest Dungeon 3. Tomorrow, next episode, hopefully I'm getting Darkest Dungeon 2 and we're finishing up the series. So, with all that being said, let's go into Darkest Dungeon 1. We are the Flame. The creature's power waxes terrible, recovering the productive relic from the long-abandoned base camp, but beware the shuffling whore. This gives us the Talisman of the Flame for the next quest, which I will go over something for that when we go into Darkest Dungeon 2, because I have a mod that fixes these for the Templars in Darkest Dungeon 2, and I will show that off a little bit. Now, hopefully I remember that, but there is a little bit of a code update that happened with Color of Madness, I believe it was, that makes this so that it no longer is minus stress received, or minus 100% stress received. It's more like 90 to 99%. But anyway, the team for today. I wanted a team that was very not position dependent, just because the shuffling whore can shuffle you around. So we're going with Robin the Vixen just because she can realistically attack from any spot. She can't use Foxfang in 4, but if she's in 4, she can use Madam Driver, Vexatious Kiss, and if she's in 1, she can't use Vexatious Kiss, but she can use Madam Driver, Foxfang. Now we do need to use Foxfang to get her in knife form so she can realistically use her riposte. However, that will also give her armor piercing. It also gives her a 3/3 bleed when she uses it, and her riposte a 3/3 bleed. Madam's Drive also ups her crit chance on riposte, and Vexatious Kiss bypasses and clears riposte, blights the enemies, marks her, gives her extra dodge, so she's a bit of a dodge tank. Not that we're going into the dodge tank build, because I kind of did what I wanted with that. She's going to have the weight to failure on her, upping her damage, and giving her melee attacks, which is Madam's Drive, a extra on-hit bleed. Then we're also going to be using Cracked Gong for extra riposte accuracy, and when riposte hits, it lowers dodge and speed. And then just because I believe there is stunning in this dungeon, and there definitely is horror, we do have Lover's Insight, so when we're in knife form, which we should be after our first attack of the dungeon, we can clear stun and horror. It also guards an ally, but I'm not really counting on that part of it. Next up we have Yugi, the Oni. This is where things are going to get a little fun. So the Shuffling Whore is a size 2, and because it can shuffle us around, I might be able to spam Mountain Breaker on it. This has armor piercing, this has plus % damage versus size 2, and plus accuracy versus size 2, and it will give us all those bonuses for her riposte for 1 round. Otherwise, we do have Obliterate, Shattering Roar, and Inexorable Advance. Obliterate and Shattering Roar give extra damage while Yugi is marked, and Advance will mark her. And then those will also apply to the riposte for 1 round. She has the Hero's Hairpin on her, giving her some base riposte, upping her melee damage and lowering her crit chance on ranged skills. We have the Inabaraki Inro, upping her riposte crit rate, lowering her crit damage, but essentially giving her a permanent riposte. We have Sahar, the DD2 Duelist. I kind of wanted her for Touche, giving her the plus damage received on the enemy debuff, but we also do have Flesh, just moving her forward, giving her extra damage and crit. And we do have Again, which will essentially give someone an extra action or 2. We have Machiac's Head on her, so the debuffs land. And we have the Instructor's Cape for a little bit of extra dodge, but this does make Touche move her back, which I'm not the biggest fan of in this case, but we'll see how it works. And finally, we have Ghost the Vessel. Any attack he does moves him around, so Nail Strike moves him forward, Piercing Slash moves him back, Crippling Lunge, if he's in the back like he is now, will move him to rank 2 or 1, Bypass Guard and minus the target's dodge. We have the Mark of Pride on him, upping accuracy, damage, and crit for melee skills, which everything is. And the Ancestor's Pen, upping his crit and damage even more. So that being said, let's go and get our Talismans of the Flame. Unfortunately, the high pass filters, which would have been really good to get earlier because the 50% crit, aren't going to do too much for us because we don't have a Tempest. Wait, and then just so everyone is aware, if you haven't gone into the Darkest Dungeon before, if a Darkest Dungeon quest is abandoned, not all heroes are guaranteed to survive. Someone must sacrifice themselves to hold off the fiends during retreat. So someone who is still alive will randomly die to hold them off. So if you do need to retreat, it is best to essentially take off all of your trinkets, and that way you can keep your trinkets, because I don't believe you get your trinkets back. So we're going to take Amphitheater Ribbons. These minus the stress received. Stress will be a little bit of a thing here. Other than that, let's take a Yellow Hand a little bit for the scouting. I don't need the accuracy. We'll take it as a just in case. And then we'll take, just because we have some debuffs going on here, let's take some Anathemums. And I want to save the Memorials. Let's take some of the Altars, because this will be minus or plus stun resistance. Actually, no. We'll bring some Performance Ribbons. That's just for the plus stress relief done. A little bit of extra speed on a few heroes.
Once again, the stars are right, and the manor sits at the very epicenter of cosmic unrest. Cultists rally to their twisted idols, and great gongs sound in anticipation of the coming sacrifices. Far below, life-laden shadows pulse to the unrelenting rhythm of a beating heart.
I love that. I love that description, and it's so sad we're not going to get anything more of that. Rest in peace there. Rest in peace. For those of you who don't know, that voice actor, I believe, yeah, I wanted to make sure I got the name right. It was Wayne June, not June Wayne. My memory's very fuzzy due to reasons. But Wayne June, the voice actor who does the ancestor for DD1 and part of DD2, and a bunch of other things, but that's what I know him personally for. Passed away recently, or within the past year, I believe it was. So He will be very, very missed. Alright, let's go.
Blood of the fallen flows ever downward along these titan spires.
And because I
Fattens itself on your failures.
try not to talk over the ancestor. And for those of you wondering, because I get this question a lot, what those ribbons are and where they are from, they are a replacement for districts. They are from Cerebral's District Reworks mod. They rework the districts, so you do not get a lot of your district reworks. However, they turn into those ribbons. And so now I have these for the entire quest, but you only get them as consumables. As you saw, I had a very limited amount of various ones. So once you start buying the
Nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
districts, they can start generating 0 to 1, sometimes up to 4 of certain...
And power.
Oh, that's not working out as intended. Certain districts, and they can be used on any hero.
Destroy them all.
That's not working out as intended. Let's move Yugi. That way I can at least Mountain Breaker with her. I do like the gold look on these guys' claws more. That's kind of fun. Lunge on Cultist in 2 here. Gonna flush the Rapturous Cultist because I don't want him to guard or heal. We're gonna Mountain Breaker him.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Yikes, 6 for 5.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
And then if we get rid of him, we don't need to worry about the bleed. We can just use a bandage.
This expedition at least promises success.
I always go bottom. That's going to be taken out of context so badly.
May we find victory.
You know, what is it technically there in the background? It's very hard for me to see. It looks like maybe chains, but it could be rock. Crippling Lunge, let's hit the Ascended Witch, just because I don't like her. Crit takes her out. Foxfang hitting the Priest, their next priority.
Executed.
Mountain Breaker on them.
As the fiend falls,
Caught our riposte.
blossoms.
Have 2 riposts actually right now. Blushing hitting the Cultist. The Rapturous Cultist, they're both cultists. They are guarding the Brawler, so we do have to take them out. And they're gonna get smacked into tomorrow. There's our drive. And obliterate. I'd say they were obliterated, alright.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
I'm using way too many torches. It's hard to tell light in here. 3 priests. Let's lunge the one in the back, lower his dodge. Foxfang him. For 3 bleed, 13 health, we're gonna Mountain Breaker. Let's hit the 1 and 2. That's not nearly what I wanted to do. Touche. Let's hit 1 and 3 down.
Impressive.
2's almost down, so if they hit either the middle rows, they go down. Finger takes on a whole new meaning with that. And you get smacked into tomorrow. Yay!
Quickens.
Obliterating. Man, that's critting like tomorrow. No tomorrow.
Trifling victory. but a victory nonetheless.
And survey says, down we go. Now, what would lace rating do? It's only a 4 bleed. Let's hit the cultist priest here. Once again, the rapturous cultists don't do much. We're gonna flush, hit this. And we'll hit the brawler then. Foxfang. Get that bleed. And we can, I would say, yeah, let's just Mountain Breaker the Ascended Brawler there. Yugi, what are you saying? They're not gonna run. No, the funny thing here is these guys can't do damage. So I could take my time taking them apart.
A brilliant confluence of skill.
But realistically, I don't need it.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, that's a nice looking study. I want to look at this quick. Can tell he was here because supplies, the lectern, kind of cool looking. Now, I believe I can go up here for a trinket. Usually ancestral, I believe. Yeah, this was like a, I'm not sure if they redid, I'm, once again, not sure if, I should double check this. Is this, immersive backgrounds? So if this is immersive backgrounds, this is good. I just can't remember this, background at all. They, from the looks of, oh yeah, they did do the Darkest Dungeon. 20 new hallways, 6 new rooms. So, very nicely done. There's a little fireplace here that he was studying by the light of. Little bookcase that he had an eldritch thing for. Little bit of a unknown study for him. New boss. The boss has a new background. The old boss background has been repurposed as a regular room background. Room backgrounds are not random. They have been placed in rooms that make sense. I like it. That's Darkest Dungeon 1. 2 in Darkest Dungeon 3, 2 new room backgrounds, and in 4 variations of hallway. I'm looking forward to that. Touche hitting brawler, up damage received.
The ground quakes.
Finger. Meet the knife. Now you're both bleeding. And if I lace rating, I think I'd take both of them out with bleed. Yeah, 7 bleed. We can bandage this and then kick the brawler down. Mountain Breaker. Not that you're a mountain. Thought we were going to get stuck in combat there for a second.
So too will resistance.
That's right, I've never gotten the Ancestor's Ring on this estate. Plus protection, plus accuracy, plus dress. Cool. I believe it's 2 rooms to the right is going to be the boss. So that's when I'll fire wood here. Oh yeah, this makes sense that up there is going to be the boss. That's a good indication. I like it. I like it. Malignant growth. A lot of bleed resistance, but not blight. Okay.
A decisive pummeling.
This is where the fun begins. You already took him out. Mountain Breaker on growth. Flesh the cultist. The Rapturous, no more guard. That's a pretty high stun chance if I remember right. Okay. Here we go. Crippling Lunge the Cultist Priest. Lower that dodge. Mountain Breaker him, he is down. Oh, I'm gonna have trouble hitting him. Unfortunate, that's one I gave extra actions to.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
So feasting for health and stress. Let's see here. I'm gonna Hone Blade for the damage and crit on Ghost. I can give Sahar a riposte. That's gonna be handy. We should prevent nighttime ambush. Up accuracy, crit, and speed on Yugi is a good idea, but what else can we do? Meditation would up Sahar's damage, but she's not doing the most. So yeah, let's warm up, and then I can quick focus for the heal and the plus speed on Ghost. Let's go. Time for DD1 boss.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only
Before I
the
forget,
strength to follow
default
it.
party order, throw Yugi in back. Party is kind of the most cohesive this way. Gonna try to take out the witch in back. Just stress reasons. Touche up damage received on witch in 3. Lacerating Cyclone, that takes out 3 damages too. Mountain Breaker hitting Cultist Priest. Well, they found out quick. Okay.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Healing everyone up. Torch.
The match is struck. A blazing
Holy Waters.
star is
In we go. Boss fight time. Ooh, I like. Okay. Oh, is he size 3 technically? I kind of forgot. Okay. We're going to lower his dodge. We tried. Foxfang, get our riposte flowing. Mountain Breaker seems like a great idea.
a singular strike.
Lovely crit. And we are going to flush.
Well struck.
If I did Touche, she would have been in 4 and not been able to do much. I mean, I guess she could have, but... And go riposts. I think you done found out. That's why I wanted a party that could do things from multiple spots. Mountain Breaker.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
I think we broke it. DD1 down.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
So, got the high pass filter for the Tempest, now that we have a Tempest at rank 5 to use, which would do plus 50% crit. Amazing. There's crit can stun, that is why the stun chance is even better. Energize would do less restoration done, and on crit he would de-stress all heroes in the party. We also get Talismans of the Flame, which are for the next quest. Please use these, they make the quest a lot easier. Crest, gold, that I realistically don't need, but I got 19,685. Armor Tinker on Robin, Demomania on Yugi, not that we'll be using her again. Misses the spot on Sahar, Ascetic, so minus crit on Ghost, and Evasive on Ghost. Evasive is very, very good on Ghost.
You have merely glimpsed the edge
Oh.
of the abyss.
I forgot about the Preacher.
Trigger the cycle of revelation. Now, like me, you will begin to see things as they truly are.
Oh man, now I wish I went and did that so I could go and hunt the Preacher down. I'm kind of tempted to do it, but he is really rare as well. And I did fight him a few times on the last estate, and he's not really going to add anything I need to this estate. I mean, he can be really hard. I will say that. It all depends. Like, his first action is a summon, and he can summon anything from, like, the most insignificant creature that will not help him at all to a Templar from DD2. And if he summons a Templar, you're kind of screwed. The fight turns out really, really hard. And if he just doesn't summon anything helpful at all, the fight is kind of a pittance. And I think he has some good trinkets. I can't remember offhand. A prayer from the heart. Zealots of the new god have started seeping through the black wound left in the dungeon, helmed by a prodigal sculptor of flesh with unmatched fervor. The Preacher will hold sermons in all regions, champion quests only. So he probably has a higher spawn chance with the modded mash mixer. Just gonna put that out there. But he has a low spawn chance, kind of like the... I want to say it's like a 5 or 10% spawn chance in hallways only, once again. And you need, I believe it is Here Be Monsters, the full release for the mod for that he would be. Then you need to go to the runes, the warrens, the weald, or the cove. And you need a screen for him to appear to, I believe. So, like, if I went to the cove here and got the screen for the Crystal Harbinger, he most likely would not appear. And then it's a hallway battle, if I recall correctly. So I don't think I'm going to be doing that one either, just because, like, that could take me 1 week to do, that could take me 20 weeks to do, and there's no telling how long. It's just I get him when I get him, kind of like with the captain. So I can't use any of these 4 heroes in the Darkest Dungeon 4 again, for those of you who don't know. So when I try to put her here, I'm never going back to that place. And then fun things can happen, like, heroes can have faces like that. The Hamlet people can have faces like that, just for people who haven't seen it. Now, Darkest Dungeon 2, I'm going to do this a little differently. Usually I go over the party after I built it. I have a pre-made party I've kind of thought about, so let's see here. I'm going to be using Silent the Musketeer. She does a lot of damage versus Marked, so that's why we're going to be using her. Actually, I'm not going to equip Trinkets yet, because I don't know who's the slowest. We're going to be using Bearston the Man-at-Arms, because I have funny ideas for him. I'll go over in just a second. I'm going to be using Roar the Ironclad, and we're going to be using Misandry the Arbalist. Does look like I need to upgrade a few skills here quick, so let's make sure people are in fighting shape. I actually need a Defender here, and we need his skills upgraded. Yeah, that works. Okay. Do I need any camping skills from anyone? Okay. 5565. Gotcha. Okay, so it really doesn't matter. So the plan here is that Barristan will be guarding, and to a lesser extent, if I need to, Roard can. And we'll put the Talisman of the Flame on silent because she's slightly faster. I'm going to have the Things Carapace, or the question marks Carapace on Barristan, because this is a lot of damage reflection, 150%, and then when he's hit, and he's going to be guarding Misandry, the thing that hits him gets bled and blighted for 2 each. So I will need Defender on him, and I will put Retribution so he's more likely to be attacked. I'm going to take off Bellow for once actually, so I'm going to do this a little weird. I don't think I've used him like this all state, so we're going to be using, like I said, Defender. This gives him extra protection when he's hit, and then all the extra reflection back. He cannot be hit by Revelation, or when he is, it's not going to stress him out and it's not going to damage. Cerebral Cloud, the person you know who does the district reworks and the reworks for a lot of classes, put out a mod called Game Tweaks that kind of fixed how this works, because originally the Talisman of the Flame worked as intended. Then when Color of Madness came out, this stopped working as intended. I'm not entirely sure why, but something in the game code, and they never went back and fixed it. So when Revelation went off, I'm not sure if it was, I can't remember offhand. I think it was just a stress, but you could still get stressed out by Revelation. I think you can still also get damaged. But Cerebral's Game Tweaks fixed this, so now Talisman of the Flame actually works. The reason for this is specifically the -X stress cap increased to 100%. Default was 80%. The other things it does is healing received cap increased to 1000%. Default was 100. Minimum virtue chance reduced to 0. Default was 1. Maximum virtue chance was increased to 100%. Default was 95. So there's a few things that did, but realistically it fixed Talisman of the Flame, which was technically a little bit broken. You still got stressed out when hit by Revelation. So yeah, he's going to be defending Misandry, and then otherwise he can do Crush, doing a bit of damage retribution, getting things going at him for riposte on top of the damage reflection, and then he can just up everyone else's dodge and lower the stress everyone receives. Roard, our Ironclad, is going to be marking, but we're also going to have the Paper Frog on him for after he marks, if something's still alive. This way he does damage to them, so he can uppercut, mark a thing, especially like say a Templar, and then not only will they get minus damage, but then if Misandry and Silent for whatever reason can't take out a Templar, he can do a Searing Blow and finish it off. That's the plan. Silent is here just for damage versus marked. She does a lot of damage versus marked. Then I'm going to finish her off with Wolf's Tassel, specifically because I don't have a better trinket for her in her own list. As you'll see here, all I have are reliable hats. She also has Talisman of the Flame here, so that way she just doesn't take damage from Revelation, but realistically we're just going to be using Aim Shot. Piercing Round ups her damage and armor piercing. Trading Shot if I want to riposte on her, and she also has a mark. Misandry here is going to be our big damager, so that's plus damage versus mark, crit versus marked. That's realistically all we're going to be using. Since you only get 3 torches, we're going to have Bedtime Story on her, and we're going to have the Wrathful Bandana on her. I don't think I can get more damage on her if I tried, because that's 30% damage versus marked, 8 crit, and then 30% damage with Wrathful Bandana. Realistically, what I could do is the Deadbolt Crossbow, but that's turn 2 damage rather than turn 1 damage, which will just end things. And that counts on things ramping up, which I don't want things to ramp up at all. I just want to end things. So that's going to be the plan. That's what we're going to go with. Let's go do DD2. Once again, one person has to stay behind, but oh well. I do have to carry 3 Hands of Glory this time around. Do I need shovels? I do not need shovels, okay. So here we're going to take the Amphitheater for minus stress received. We can take a few Red Seals. These are extra damage versus marked. And we'll take a Yellow Hand for the Scouting. Not that I think will be Scouting, but nonetheless. Let's go.
The thing has no name, for it needs no language. Nevertheless, those who would submit to its wordless will are rewarded in a fashion. The creature's blessings are as repulsive as they are robust. twisted, half-human monstrosities stalk the flesh-ridden halls, protecting their gestating god.
I love how he says that. Protecting their gestating god. Alright. So I'm gonna go lower left, top to lower right.
It crawls steadily upward from the pit, supported by the lattice of cyclopean pillars.
Top cultist. Or priest. 'Cause if I take this one out, realistically, I don't have much to worry about. Wow, I'm not doing much damage at all. I know I didn't mark, but regardless.
Surges as the enemy crumbles.
Come on, I marked someone else. Hit him. There we go. Go riposte. I really wish that would have hurt the Rapturous Cultist, because look at how he's healing.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Retreating shot's the only way I'm gonna hit one. Yikes. And I have to Bola. There we go.
Disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
Then we go down, and then we go down from there. Okay, let's hit Cultist in 2. And then they guard it. Of course. Get reflected. Get reflected. Oh, that's great. Blight takes him... Oh, almost takes him out. You know what? Let's piercing round. And shot on 3. And we get it back.
A faint hope blossoms.
Gonna mark 1, the Malignant Growth, just so we can do more to it later. And then we'll Retribution. I meant to hit the Priest so I could hit the Rapturous Cultist, but that's fine. Reflect. Let's try Bola, because that hits the growth. And then Reflect gets them. I love it.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
I think Reflect gets him. That is so great. So worth the abysmally hard fight to get it.
Destroyed.
Alright. So there is one of the Templars down there.
Seize this momentum.
So let's heal up, especially because Baristan de-stress a tad. I have a prevent nighttime ambush on Roard, so we're gonna barricade. All companions plus damage. All companions plus dodge plus crit. And then field dressing on failed. Lovely.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Okay. In we go. Probably should default party ordered, but that's fine. Good thing we didn't get knocked back. Good reflect. Let's try to take out the polyps for now until we can mark the impaler. One down. Defending Misandry because of impaler. Haha, no damage, no stress. Your blood. Marking impaler. And it's all downhill for you now, buddy. You tried. And we didn't get moved back. I love it. So 23 to 37, or if I piercing round, which I know we're not going to get back, mind you. 29 to 42 before crit. Sniper shot. You tried. Both times he went at the person without the Talisman of the Flame. Up damage versus person marked. Love it. Retribution for the riposte.
A singular strike.
And that paid off. Oh, we missed the bonk. And pop. And slash. And Templar down.
No intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Move the polyp forward so we can hit it easier. The post might get it. No blight, it looks like. And Hand of Glory.
Brought low and driven into the mud.
And then we can go up and around and go to the next Templar fight, because that wasn't bad at all. Okay, 2 priests, 2 rapturous cultists. Can we get the priest before the guard? No. I could have, possibly, if I changed out one of Misandry's trinkets so I could bypass the guard, but We'll get reflected. Get blighted. The finger almost takes you out there, buddy. Was it worth it? You healed yourself. Well, you're not guarding anymore. Pop. But the weasel didn't go. So let's play whack-a-mole. Oh man, that trinket is so fun.
Decimated.
And a bonk again. And we're good.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Okay, going to the left. Torch. Up we go. Hunger check heals us up. We can torch again. And there is a defensive growth, along with 2 malignants. I think we need to get the malignant first. I think for the more dangerous ones, I can't remember what the defensive actually does. We're going to give armor piercing. It can guard. Right, okay. Just for the riposte, I'm not sure it's gonna be needed, but... And we're gonna mark the malignant, or the defensive. I do have a plan for this, but we'll see what just works. Okay, didn't need to do anything to the row 2. Stun? No. Damage versus marked, let's go. Accuracy crit buff. Well, he's not around anymore.
Brilliant confluence of skill and
Crush.
such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
Fleeting shot. Marking. Doing some damage. And dust bonk.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
I'm sure it's going to get me very, very quickly, especially what I have planned for later. Okay, Templar Warlord, 2 Flesh Hounds. I want the Flesh Hounds down. Okay. Piercing round. Get Flesh Hound in too. Oh, that's lovely. Script Mark Warlord. And sniper shot on him. I couldn't guard fast enough. That's why you don't want it hitting you. Defender. Get reflected. That's gonna eat up my antis. Okay, well, he's not marked anymore, so go for Flesh Hound. Let's take it out. Anti-venom. Get Flesh Hound down. One less thing attacking me. One less thing possibly moving, stunning me. Baristan, you can take it. Retribution on Flesh Hound 1. Well, unfortunate that riposte didn't hit. Retreating shot hitting Flesh Hound in 1, getting riposte. At least we got the riposte. Skeet shot Templar Warlord for now. Also up crits received. That's gonna be nice.
Masterfully
Riposte.
executed.
Damage effect. Bleed or blight. Okay.
A devastating blow.
So we can do up to 26 to the Warlord. Misandry hits it. You can get rid of Flesh Hound.
prodigious size
There we go.
does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
You know, I forgot to use the red seals there.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Healing up.
A spark without kindling is a goal without
I
hope.
needed more food. Prevent nighttime ambush. Get a second wind to heal the Ironclad. Upping our dodge again with tactics. I'm gonna field... Wait, before I do that, let's just weapon practice. Up the dodge. We already did tactics. Weapon practice is gonna do more for us here.
In Radiance,
Okay, going
may we
down.
find victory.
I'm gonna continue along the path that I already did. I didn't heal Misandry or Silent there, because I only have 3 anti-venoms left, and I still have to do 1 more of the, or 2 more warlords that can light us, so want to be a little careful about that. And then we go down to entrance, and then we go to the right. I swear those faces look like a boo to me. These ones right here kind of look like a boo from Dragon Ball. Alright. So we need the Cultist Priest and 2 down. Get our riposte. That crit. But he's down. So we are going to uppercut the priest so we can get to the cultist. Take cultist down. Now these 2 are left. Just a big yikes. You need to go for the malignant growth. Because you 2 are like the only ones that can. Was hoping for that crit, and then I can retreating shot the malignant growth. Making sure it goes down. Alright, default order.
Success so clearly in view. Or
Torch.
is it merely a trick of the light?
We go down. Last fight before the Templars. Going for the cultist, no longer guarded on the priest. For now, what we're gonna do is, I suppose, go for the cultist priest. That's not good.
The ground quakes.
Gola. Crush.
Impressive.
And then whatever I hit it with, it goes down. Okay, I do have 4 food.
Victory. But a victory.
So if I don't have a hunger check, I think whatever I do is fine. Oh, hell. There we go. Heal quick. Well, before I went in there. Okay. So he's going to do the Doomsday. They're just going to do frontline stuff. Okay. We're going to use a red seal. This is up crit, up damage versus marked. And I'm going to skeet shot, up damage receive versus the one in row. Or up crit receive versus Templar in one. Yikes. Okay. Well, Misandry can't get Revelation used on her. Okay. Good waste of their actions. We are going to try to mark again. Now we're just going to do damage on Misandry. I need the damage to go flowing. Then Roward, please. Mark, thank you. Also debuff the minus damage is great. I didn't have the riposte yet.
Body and brain.
I need to get rid of that blight. Aim shot on Impaler. Sniper shot on Impaler. They're almost down. Nice waste of that. We're marking the Warlord. Guarded for 2. Retribution on Impaler. Got the riposte regardless. Reflect. Okay. We got this. We got this. So I'm going to do piercing round. And then I can do aim shot into the Warlord. Or the Templar Warlord. Searing blow, Impaler down, sniper shot on Warlord. Fight over, dungeon over. DD2 done.
And improvement.
That one got close. Because I ran out of food. Which was stupid of me, because I could have brought like 8 more food if I would have given something up other supplies here. Which I'm not sure what I would have given up, because I used like everything. But I could have found a use. I should have brought more food, which is a lesson for the next dungeon. Lighting away done. Got Eldritch Crucifix, which is decent, plus death blow resistance, plus bleed resistance, plus stress relief done, minus max HP. 15,000 gold, 18 crusts. Barrist on hit level 6, he did good job. Meticulous Striker, plus 10 accuracy versus marked. That's actually good for someone who does damage versus marked.
The maniacal cultists are quelled for a time, but there can be no celebration. Your progress is measured only in progressive realization and dawning horror. You are in the shadow of the end.
A job well done. He stayed up working for days, inspired by the rare quality of his materials, and determined to do them justice with his own skill. Free armor upgrade. And you'll notice that my count for heroes is going down. That's because people who have done the DD4, who won't go back into the Darkest Dungeon here, don't count towards the roster, which is nice. No, once is enough. So let's go get that free armor upgrade. Doubtful that I need it, but it'll be nice. As you can see there, mod it. Had the thing there. Junia, free armor upgrade. You're now level 5. At the Nomad Wagon, we can get Diggs Lucky Loot for something. Alright. Now, Belly of the Beast. This is a fun one. So, we want Selene, our Duchess. We want the Cursed. Oh, I actually need to do something here. Quick. we want Boyven the Hellion, and we want Rex our Trophy Hunter. So, I put out an update a while ago that the cursed trinkets have been updated. So as you can see here, I haven't personally updated them. I'm going to show you something here, because this is really cool. So this is what they look like now. I'm just kind of choosing what I want here. So keep in mind that they look like this for now. I'm going to go update my game and show you what they look like after the update, because the artists did such a good job. I have to show this art off. Otherwise, our Hellion, I'm going to be using Mark of the Outcast for the plus speed, plus bleed chance, because I want her going faster. But we'll also be using some plus damage on her, I think. Actually, some plus damage versus bleeding particularly, because we'll be doing some bleeding damage, I think. So let's do the Bloody Feather there. Rex, my boy. Just because the thing I need to hit is very dodgy, we're going to take the focus ring on him, and we are going to take some good flat damage on you. I almost have enough shards for the other thing I wanted. You know what? We'll take Lucius. And then Celine needs the plus accuracy from Nobusuma's Glare, because we will be using her in monster form. And then we're going to be doing up, bleed, received. So of course we're going to be doing something for that. So everyone here hinges on her doing bleed damage. So actually Boyven would do better, Boyven would do better with Blood Charm, because that's almost as much plus damage received from the bleeding, and then she gets plus flat 1 bleed damage. And then we'll go with Maciac's Head, just because I want the debuff from Crimson Downpour landing. So my thought here is that Boyven is hitting the Iron Swan white cell stocks, otherwise Mammoth Cyst is bleed out. She's going faster because of Mark of the Outcast, and she's bleeding more often because of this as well. She's doing just more damage with the Blood Charm. Again, Greymane doing damage versus Cyst in beast form with Dark Flight, Go for the Throat, things like that. But then we switch back to human form, Quicksilver Bulleting, hopefully lowering the assists, the white cell stock's dodge with Quicksilver Bullet. Iron Forge Wheellock helps with the armor piercing on the Mammoth Cyst. Gilnean Standard buffs other speed every time he transforms. I guess not when he transforms, but if I wanted the Inner Beast. And on melee hit, we'll up accuracy on range skills for things like Trifuricate and Crimson Downpour. When I use Quicksilver Bullets, that ups Boyven's accuracy. Some of Rex's, when he's in beast form, that ups all ranged stuff, so that's going to be Trifuricate, Crimson Downpour, Thirst for Power. Rex is doing a lot of damage versus bleeding via like the extra crit. He can Trifuricate either the white cell stocks or the Mammoth Cysts. That's why we have the focus ring, as they are very dodgy, and then he just has Lucius for the damage. And then Celine is just there to bleed everything. But that being said, I do want to show off the art here, because I was just notified of it yesterday. That's how far in advance I've been recording this, because I got a little excited and we were very close to the end. And I wanted some time to plan some of my next things and to give myself a little bit of a break. So I'm going to be right back, and then we'll show off the art for the Cursed. So as you can see, the art has been updated on all of the trinkets. Even if you really don't know WoW, for instance, I never played Alliance, so I don't really have much of a connection to these. I can easily tell what all of these are from a glance. Like, this one here is his Wheellock, this is the Ring of Kalimdor, this one is the Stormwind Shield, this is the Incendiary Elixir, this is a Standard, this is a Wolfheart Pendant, and that is the Dalaran Hilt. They're very easily distinguishable, each with their backgrounds and their looks. It is very, very clear what they are. I love it, and whoever did the drawing, actually I know who did the drawing, they did a very amazing job. There's also the Liam's Keepsake, the Crystalline Trinket here. Each of them, very unique look, very good art. No longer placeholders after, I don't even know how long they've been waiting, but for however long we've been waiting, a move has probably been waiting longer. Now, once again, I'm just going to be using the Ironforged Wheellock and the Gilnean Standard. And that's what I had decided on before going in here. But I kind of wanted to show those off that now that they are finished. So now that we've gone over the party, let's go into the DD3. Belly of the Beast. Your enemy is vast, sprawling, and must be destroyed from within. Slog through the twisting maze and find your way into its throbbing heart. Now, technically, up until the courtyard, this was the longest dungeon and potentially most dangerous dungeon in my opinion if you didn't know where you were going. Actually, just quick look here. It has 28 rooms. I think that is the longest of any dungeon without the courtyard, and maybe even considering some of the courtyard. So, and with some of the mechanics in here, it definitely makes it one that if you don't know what you're doing, this dungeon itself can take over an hour, if not longer. However, if you know what you're doing and have a good party, or just get incredibly lucky, this can be a 5-10 minute dungeon. So activate the Locust Beacon. Let's go. And you get 4 firewoods, which to me really isn't necessary for this. I will be taking all the food though. We're also going to want torches. I'm going to want training ribbons to hit the thing. And other than that, let's bring Anathenum just for the debuffs that we're going to be doing. Let's go.
The interminable stone holds are but an antechamber. The creature is vast beyond measure, and must be battled from within. Step over the threshold, and let the terrible truth worm its way into your mind.
And as you can see here, it even tells you, prepare yourself for the longest, most grueling quest of your campaign. They're not wrong.
Gateless gate. A maddening aperture to realms beyond human understanding.
And we are in the belly, you can see it. Little gross. Probably didn't need that many torches. I'm gonna head down. Polyps, antibody. Antibody you don't really need to worry about. It's not the white cell stock that can send you anywhere, but I will still get rid of it. Great crit, Boyven. Great crit. And they're going to be fighting for that spot more or less. Because they don't want to be in rank 1. Then we're going to Dark Flight, hit the 1-1. Or not. They do have some good dodge. Biting Blade.
As the fiend
1 down.
falls, a faint hope blossoms.
12 speed. If it bleeds, it does bleed. It bleeds out. And Biting Blade. Rexy, good job. Fault Order. Moving on along.
So clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Now, is it just me or does that look like a sphincter? Heading to the right. 2 flesh hounds. I do not like the flesh hounds, Sam. I am. Let's bleed it out. Bleed for 6. Light for 6 on me. Ouchie. Rex, you good? We are going to Monstrous Affliction, changing Celine into monster form, then Crimson Downpour these 2. Bleeding for 8. And bleed amount received up. Dark Flight hitting the flesh. Actually, no. We're going to go for the throat. More damage that way. Anti-Venom. Trifuricate 3. It goes down to bleed now. Thirst for Power. Hitting Fleshhound in 2. It bleeds out now. I mean, Rex is marked. I can't really complain about that.
By inches.
And that's our fight.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Fault Order. Hey Rex, here's some food. Torch, in we go. Before we get anywhere, which, mind you, this is our map. So far, we have a lot of firewood. I'm going to camp here, just for the bonuses and a little bit of health.
It's a goal without hope.
The one downside here is I do not think I have a prevent nighttime ambush. So we are rolling with what we get. Crit after first round, let's enter fire. Battle transfer damage if in position 1. No, she's... Yeah, we'll still battle trans. Sharpen her spear for the plus crit. And I have 4 left. Rex can Marshland Predator get plus speed. Oh no, plus damage versus Eldritch. Things are Eldritch in here. I almost overlooked that. Right, and it cracks easy here. Good to remember.
The match
On we go.
struck.
Going down.
A blazing star is born.
Hi, Mammoth Cyst. Hi, White Cell Stalk. So we are afflicting monstrous. Crimson Downpour, bleeding the back row. Bleeding for 8. It has 12 health left. Iron Swan. I need that to hit. Now we don't get transported. We are going to Biting Blade the Mammoth Cyst here because we need to get this down. It will resummon the White Cell Stalks, which can transport us anywhere in this dungeon, which we really do not want. Disengage, changing the cursed back to human form. Then we're going to put this Ironforged Wheel Lock to use. And pop. Oh, that hurts. A little bit of blight, little bit of blight. Noble Obligation, let's get rid of the White Cell Stock.
Their formation is broken.
Huge accuracy to use.
Offensive.
Anti-Venom. Bleed out on Mammoth Cyst. 18 bleed around on it. It's gonna hurt itself a lot. I mean, heal for almost as much as you're bleeding. Dark Flight into the bleeding, doing more damage.
Brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
Debuff is minus damage. So we're gonna Biting Blade moving forward here. 50 crit rate, and we didn't get a crit. Unfortunate. So bleeding for 10 has 20 health left, so let's up that bleed. Dark Flight, and that's our fight.
The bigger the beast, the greater the glory. Seize this momentum. Push
Healing
on to
Boyven.
the task's end.
In we go. Oh, she's not in rank 1. We'll be fine. One thing is... once I use Go for the Throat, we'll be fine. So, Crimson Downpour bleeding everyone. Didn't get one of the Flesh Hounds. Interesting. Actually, what we can do here... If I did Breakthrough, the air needed to be walked to food. No, we'll just get rid of the Flesh Hound in 3. Or miss entirely. Blight for 6, okay. That's not great. Okay, no move. So we are gonna go for the throat. So I need it to move us back. And let's go for the Flesh Hound, because I really want it down. Anti-Venom. Biting Blade so I can try Furicate later. Let's get one of the Flesh Hounds down, because it can move us. I don't remember what the antibody does. It can stun us. Great. Thirst for Power. Hit the Polyp because it will bleed out. That leaves a Flesh Hound with 8 bleed on it and the antibody that I haven't touched. Great.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Bleed out on antibody. Lovely. Dark Flight. And it bleeds out.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them.
Hey, Vexy, buddy. So realistically, I go here, then down. There's 2, 3 more battles. I have buffs for more fights. Let's keep going. We are default party ordered, okay. Another assist and stealth stock. We are going to Monstrous Affliction, Crimson Downpour, because that helps bleed the cyst. Which I would like bled, plus bleed amount received. Yeah, Iron Swan, the white cell stock. I can't risk this thing teleporting me. Displace is fine. It's the other attack. Again. Quicksilver. It bleeds out. Then, what we're gonna do is, does Trifurcate or Biting Blade do more? Actually, let's get blocks on Rex there. That way he doesn't take damage. Thirst for power on Mammoth Cyst, getting it bleeding. Hopefully there's 8 bleed out. There's a third of its health before the bleed. Just fight our way to it. You know,
this is how a life is taken.
You have to think. We're inside a living being. Cysts can hurt like hell. I know for a fact they hurt like hell. One this big that can move around on its own and technically bite you. If it misses a bite on something else. I know this is probably an eldritch being that doesn't feel pain, or at least to the same extent that we do, but how much does this thing hurt? Especially with how many of them it has. So the cyst goes down. We just need the white cell stock, and we would have needed to get it down regardless because it does not die when the cyst does.
Cursed champion falls.
Man, that Iron Forged Wheellock is coming in clutch. Also the Gilnean standard for the plus accuracies. I love it. Okay, moving on along. Debating if I should heal. Probably. Just in case. Then we go down. I have 1 battle left, okay. Torch. Templar. Bleed out. This one can't use Revelation, so it's not as big of a deal.
Inspiration and improvement.
Go for throat, or dark flight rather, I suppose. There's that lovely, lovely bleed. And crit. That hurts a tad. No bleed, no blight. And he goes down. Go for the throat. He's down.
Victory. Perhaps a turning.
So I'm going to do something kind of wonky here. I'm going to go back to this room. I'm going to camp again. And then we're going to go to this room. Because I think this is the final room. If it's not this one, it's around here.
Huddled
That
together.
shouldn't be hard to get to.
Furtive and vulnerable. Rats in
So,
a maze.
inner fire again, crit after first round. Learn my lesson almanacking on Celine. We are going to Headhunter for damage versus Eldritch. And we're going to Sharpen Spear for the crit.
In Radiance,
I'm not sure if we can get nighttime ambush in here. I'm pretty sure we can. I think I learned that lesson on my last estate. And we just didn't 2 times in a row. Yeah, this is the last dungeon. Okay. Cell stock needs to go. Didn't move us. Great. Monstrous Affliction, Crimson Downpour, Bleeding.
diminished.
It is not bleeding. Lovely. We need to Quicksilver Bullet, hit the cell stock. It's down.
Disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
Oh, that's great. We'll have opportunities to get it. Trifuricate onto Mammoth Cyst. It almost never uses teleport on the first action it's up for, so I think we're good. Bleeding it. I guess that doesn't bleed it. That's just plus damage received. Yikes. Iron Swan. There we go. And Rexy Boy, if you would. Onto the cyst. And it summons another. This one really wants that white cell stock up. Come on, Celine. You survived the Countess. You can survive this. Crimson Downpour. Bleed them all. Get the bleed, please. Thank you. Bleeding for 8. I only need... I mean, the crit did the job, but I only need 12 damage on him. Bleed out. Bleeding for 18. Dude. You really don't want me here. Trifuricate. Cyst bleeds out.
Monsters of size
Puts him in a different position. Okay.
Unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Now that's not going to bleed, but it does enough damage.
Ghoulish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
That is DD3 done. We would have gotten teleported. That would have been like worst case scenario because I could have been put like down here and had to work my way all the way back through even more cysts. And you saw how that just burned through my food for the healing. Like I had roughly 1-2 more attempts at any cysts. That would have been very, very bad had one teleport gone off. That probably would have been it. Belly of the Beast down. DD4 left, which will be next episode. 15,000 gold. We got Little Buddy for the Estranged, which is classified as a friend, funnily enough. Minus 20% damage, minus 33% restoration duration received on Stinger Smack hit. Party gets minus 7 stress, 67% chance for that to happen, and on friendly skill, other heroes get a 2-for-2 restoration. Their friendly skill is their Riposte, I believe. Again, got a disease. Tapeworm. Makes sense. Wouldn't want to be in there. Celine got God-Fearing. I would too after going in there. And then Sunward Tactician on Rex. Not sure what that has to do with it. But, yeah, I would be God-Fearing too if I was Celine. I wouldn't care what happened in the courtyard. I would not want to go in the belly of that thing's... Or the beast. I would not want to go in the belly of the beast again. Like, legitimately.
At last, the twisted heart of the world is laid bare. For sword or supplication.
There's this hunter that's afraid of beasts. That is kind of funny. This one's wary, that makes more sense, and he's a yokai slayer, and then this one's a perfectionist, that also makes sense. Hear ye, by lantern's light, a group of mysterious moon-scented hunters have made way to the Hamlet, carrying peculiar weapons of wrought steel. Where might we put their talents to use? Oh, I didn't notice this. Success in the Darkest Dungeon has inspired all heroes in the Hamlet. Stress removed. Again, we need to get rid of your tapeworm there, buddy. And we also get some cool looking art there because they've gone into the Darkest Dungeon. I never really noticed that. That's kind of cool. Celine, you can get... We're going to work on that God-fearing for you, okay? There you go. And then anything in the Nomad Wagon that might be helpful going into the last dungeon? Nope. Okay. Not for what I have in plan. And then tomorrow, Heart of Darkness. For now, there's a blood moon going on. I'm not going to spoil the surprise of what I have in plan, but I have a very silly plan that I'm not sure too many people have done. And we'll see if it's... I mean, I know it's possible. Problem is surviving until it's possible. And we'll see how that goes. But once again, I did not expect to get this far. I can't put that into words enough. I did not think I was going to get through the champion dungeons, which meant I was not going to touch the DD4. I did not think I was going to get half the bosses I got down on this estate or this challenge for the No Hope challenge, because we haven't been healing in battle at all, we haven't been stress healing, and we haven't stunned this entire estate. That has been the entire challenge. This estate has been based around no battle healing, no stress healing in battle, and no stuns. I wanted to see just how far you could go with it, and it seems like it's entirely possible to beat the game with that, which is amazing. You gotta do some finagling. I mean, I'm sure the base game with the base heroes would be a different story. I'm sure it's still possible, because the modded heroes, once again, look at some of the things I had to put up with, especially because of Void's modded mash mixer, and even just some of the, like, Sunward fights, for an example. But, or even just like Bristle and Bone giving me problems in the Warrens. Had that not be a thing, I could just go into the Warrens with the Bleeding team and call it a day. I really can't express how happy I am that this estate has worked out to this point. And the fact that we've gotten the majority of the bosses that have been installed, there's 4 now that the Preacher has come out of hiding, because I forgot that we needed to go into the Darkest Dungeon to get him out. So he's from Here Be Monsters, full release, I believe. The other 2 bosses are the Night Parade bosses. There's 2 of the 3 I haven't fought, and then the Sunken Captain from Home for Lost Monsters that has a very special condition, which I have. I just was unable to find him after like 10 plus dungeons. So 4 bosses, 4 out of every boss, and then just the Heart of Darkness left. We've done everything else that is installed on this estate, except for Endless. I don't like Endless. I think everyone knows that at this point. I think that's great for this estate. I'm not sure what everyone else thinks about that, but the fact that it's doable is amazing to me, and that's what I set out to do for myself. But otherwise, next time I have a fun plan for the Heart of Darkness. I don't think I have seen this done, but that doesn't mean it hasn't been done. And it's going to be a little bit of an ode to our buddy Vintage. Just because I haven't seen them around in a while, I'm not sure if they're coming back to Darkest Dungeon. There's been some talk about maybe they're kind of done with everything that's been happening, and that would be a sad day because they've made some really good mods, and I kind of want to show what some of their mods can do if put to good use. So, a little bit of a hint of what's coming up in the Heart of Darkness. Hell is in the Heart, last episode for the No Hope Estate, and then we'll do a little bit of a follow-up where I talk about like some of my favorite mods, some of the biggest problems, some of the biggest snags, how I went about some of the stuff for those of you interested in that. And we'll go from there. So that'll be it for this time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz, and otherwise, as always, I wish you all well. I will see you next time, and please, have a good one.